What's up everybody and welcome back to the video. How are you? I'm great. Thank you for asking. I've got a cable machine. So I put this up last night. It probably took me about 4 hours in total. Yeah, about 4 hours in total. So it's not too bad to be fair. But in we come to my humble abode. So we have the cardio machines right here in this section, and as we move across we have our bench setup, which you can do shoulders, chest, back, arms and legs on. And then as we move up we have our cable machine. The reality is this cable machine is going to give me a lot more everything. We've got to consider that when we're working with bands, there's a resistance profile there, right? So the resistance profile is just the resistance created by whatever you're using, right? And we know that using a cable like this is going to create a one-to-one resistance. So the resistance at the top of the movement is the same as the resistance in the bottom of the movement. So that's something that we need to consider when we're loading. Whereas if you've got a band, you tighten as you get longer, as the band lengthens, it tightens, which is going to in turn change that resistance profile to make it heavier at the top of the load. Now we know with certain exercises, for example your back, that when you're fully contracted here, which is when the band's going to be at its longest, if you're doing a banded row or something, your lat is actually in a weaker position in that position. So this will just allow you to get more contractile strength out of the movement than you would do necessarily with a band. So this is going to offer me some really good options. It's going to allow my leg extensions to be able to load a little bit more. Obviously I've been limited to the band. Now I can load the whole stack and I can still do my cable extensions and hamstring curls, which is the most important thing here. I think the hamstring curls, because the band is just too strong for hamstring curls, and I don't have any load when my leg is fully straight, and the band kicks in about here, and then my hamstring is weak and it's difficult to get in that far. So having the cable machine here is going to work, but it's going to allow me to load single arm rows, it's going to allow me to load pushes, you know, clavicular flies, is going to allow me to load press as well. I can now do all my crucifix lateral raises and my lying lateral raises, which is awesome. I'm super happy that I've got this machine. So I know people are going to ask, this is the can't control myself on camera. This is the Body Max. I think it's like the 820 or something. I've used this a few times in gym, so I knew that I was getting a really good piece of equipment. It cost me 1,300 quid. Pretty expensive. I've seen this for a little bit cheaper, maybe a couple hundred quid cheaper here and there, but obviously it was quarantine, so obviously people are going to put their prices up. So it's £1,300. I know that you guys are going to ask. But the benefits, the utilization I'm going to get out of this over the next however long quarantine is going to be priceless, and I'd pay it all over again. I want a gym. I want a fucking gym, and this is you know what, this right here, including the bike, this is my first step, and I want you guys to mark it right now. This video right now, however many minutes is in, remember this moment, because when we look back in a few years and I've got a place of my own, we're gonna know that this started in my spare room with a cable machine and a bench and a bike. This is the beginning, guys. Today we've got shoulders and arms, and I'm blessed to be able to say, yeah, we're gonna train properly today. Let's do it.
Yeah, we do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. Yeah, we do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite.
What's up, people? First of all, we've still got some 1MR wrist straps available. They'll be in the link in the description box. We haven't got any hoodies, but we're restocking very soon, don't worry. This is the same shoulders and arm workout as you saw the other day. It just so happens that it fell on that. But what? Take it here. What I want you guys to focus on right here is the progression aspect of what I'm going for. So obviously you guys know that I work roughly off 2 sets ish when I'm loading pretty nicely, like a 6 to 10 and a 10 to 15-ish. Last time you guys saw me, I did a 115 for 6 or 7, I believe. And then I did 100 for 10 or 11, I believe. So obviously those two numbers in mind, those are what I'm trying to focus on today. So I need to beat that 115 for 7, which means I'm either doing a 120 for 5-ish or a 120 for, or a 115 for 8 or 9, and it also means that 100 is going up for 12 or 13, or we're going to go 105-ish. So that progression has to be there in load, in volume, in tension, whatever that aspect that you have control of is going to what has to be progressed. So if you've only got bands, you're going to have to progress those bands somehow. Lucky the fact I got this. This is 60 kilos. We'll show you the warm-ups again because you seem to like them. Raw or not? We'll do music and then we'll do raw.
Loving this life, yeah, we do it every night. Smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night. Smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. Yeah, we do it every night. Smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night. Smoking weed.
Dodgy as fuck. I know you guys are commenting down below about my my rack. Just live on the edge. Come on, gains. 100 kilos coming up.
Sipping Sprite, I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. Yeah, we do it every night. Smoking weed, sipping Sprite.
So this is 120 PB by a long way. Just hope I can move it, really. Let's fucking go then. Gonna keep this nice and raw. Excuse the shouting, it's just how I do it. Oh. 5, 6. Ah! Oh yes, let's fucking go. Max reps, 120 baby. Always back up your boys. This is Tom's voice note from this morning after me and Brightway gassed him up.
Hey, thanks boys, that was just a completely unexpected level of gas that I wasn't meant to experience today. Yeah, that was probably one of my best.
He sent us in some pictures of him in 2015. He looked banging and we both told him and he's fully gassed. So we're going to put the back off here on today. This is 105. Obviously I did 100 for 11 last time, and with that increase on the first set, 5 kilos and match reps, that tells me that I could probably do 5 kilos up and maybe match the reps again. If I get a few short, it's not a big deal. We can still work with it. It's still more than we did last week, so if I can get 10 here, I'm going to be very, very happy. Just a little bit of a mindset into how I'm progressing these over time.
Feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life.
It wasn't a risk for me to take that final rep. Often you'll see me grind, but I know I've got that rep. It may not look like I've got that rep, but I know I do. And when it's in a case where I've got a slightly unstable rack, I haven't got a spot, we're not in the normal circumstances, there's no need for me to take that risk. We're being risky, but smart. Smisky. We performed a crucifix lateral raise first, which is, oh my sunshine, that's fine. Which is a lot more external rotation. We're focusing on almost this movement. Now we're focusing on pure abduction and isolating that lateral head to finish it off. 2 sets.
but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed.
So moving on to a dual arm crossed over chest supported. Gives me great pleasure to say that. Tricep extension. The chest support is just going to allow you to lean against it and put a bit more pressure through that tricep. It's going to keep you nice and safe. The cut cables are going to allow tension from the top all the way to the bottom. I'm excited to do this. The noise in the background is just my mum on the bike. So don't worry.
Sprite, I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life.
So we're gonna go into occlusion bands, which we guys talked about in the last episode as well. So just very, very briefly, I know there'll be some new clicks on here. Blood flow restriction training, we just stop the blood flow out of the muscle, but allow it in, so you should get a big boy pump. I'm actually gonna superset both biceps and triceps. It's hard to do on your own. I'm going to superset both biceps and triceps on the cable machine. What's nice is I have an adjustable load now. Obviously had to use a consistent load when I was using it outside because I just had the single pulley system and I had to tie the rope around weights. So obviously I had to untie it if I wanted to drop the load. Now I can just use a pin so we can train efficiently.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, we do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. Yeah, we do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. We do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life. Yeah, we do it every night, smoking weed, sipping Sprite. I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life.
And there we have it, session done. So we did crucifix lateral raises. We then loaded up nicely with an OHP, which is a big heavy movement. And then we did lateral raises, then we did rear delts, and then we finished up on arms. Now, I'll be back in tomorrow doing a chest and back session. So this is why I wouldn't put so many compound movements on today. I could do a shoulder press, I could do an Arnold press or some kind of other shoulder press, but that would potentially take away from tomorrow. Ideally, I should take a rest day tomorrow, but I just had 2 rest days in a row, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. I feel pretty good. I should be fine tomorrow. But one thing I want you to take from this is just that ability to progress things. Now, I realize not everyone has the equipment available that I do, but you still have some sort of equipment and something that you can play with, right? So you've got to plan these sessions with thoughts to progress them. You know, we're now not like waiting for this to blow over anymore. It's been 5 weeks or 6 weeks, or whatever it's been. There's going to be 3 more. It might be more after that. So it's got to be very much of how can you progress this. So if you've only got a band, play with the tension. Come closer to where the band is. Come further away from where the band is. You know, you've seen me do things with my delts where you can do a full range movement, fail in the shorten range, and then come out a bit further, and then fail in the lengthen to mid range. So do similar things for elsewhere. Whatever you've got, look to add weight wherever you can. Look to progress that tension and progress that time under tension, because it's what ultimately is gonna send that signal to your muscles to either stay put or build. You know, and if you let those signals go away, both of these things are going to be much harder to manage. So that is shoulders and arms done. I'm sure we'll be back later on. So have a great day, enjoy the sun. We'll speak soon, probably in the next clip. What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGTV under my new cable rack. I was going to do a pull down and realised it. So I just recorded a long form IGTV for the very first time in a while. I've been putting a few sets on IGTV because I feel like just gonna use IGTV more as I do have a bigger have a bigger crowd on Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, drop a like as well, because it helps the algorithm, and we want to take over YouTube, obviously. But let me know which form. Actually, that's a good point. Let me know which form of content of me you prefer to listen to. Is it Instagram, the stories? Is it Instagram posts? Is it IGTV? Is it YouTube? Obviously, you're on YouTube right now, so you might say YouTube. Or podcasts. Any of my Bridging the Gap followers out there. So I have a podcast called Bridging the Gap. Let me know. I'd be interested.
Right, I'm feeling so extra, but I'm loving this life.
So, someone who uses box lights or umbrella lights, like this one, you want to make sure that everything back here is like, obviously if this was pitch black, it'd be much more pronounced here. Also, if you use like a black background and say you've got like a window behind it, you want to cover the whole bottom. Otherwise that little light is going to focus the camera. As you can see now, you kind of got this little bit of a blur here, but it's because that one right here is not closed. Don't know if I can block it. So I just wanted to briefly continue that talk about bicep curls and growing your arms in general, even for triceps. Now, ideally, get a cable stack. Can't do that. Cool. So you've only got bands, right? And you've only got a dumbbell, and you've got to go with the higher reps. Well, you are going to get some adaptation from those higher reps. You're going to feel that metabolic work. You're going to feel that pumping in the muscle a lot more, and probably acutely, like probably in the first 2 to 4 weeks, you're probably going to get some a little bit of growth there. You're probably going to get a response. But the issue comes that the body being an adaptation machine, it learns that really, really quickly, you know, which is why things like occlusion training, which I've been running now for like 2-3 weeks, I probably wouldn't run for another 3 or 4 weeks. I'll probably stop in about 2 or 3 weeks because the adaptation will be made very, very quickly. The body tends to do that. If the whole workout was just metabolic work, you learn that and become more efficient at that. But if you're changing from like heavy work to light work, maybe to some medium work, and you change that flow there, so you've got to be conscious of that as well. But essentially, a muscle just recognizes the stimulus that you can give it. So if you can give it the stimulus that is needed to elicit that response, you're going to get the growth that you needed out of it. So if you can do that with a band, you're going to grow, you know. So don't think we're not growing. If you can elicit the band tension in the right way, you definitely can put a lot of force through a muscle. And of all the muscles that could potentially grow, it's going to be the biceps. Obviously, bit different for chest and back, but working those, yeah. I'm going to show you a physique update that I took today, and I'm really, really happy with this. I did have a pump, I'll give you that. I had I did chest and back, so obviously my chest and back are pumped, but I'm happy with this physique, and I'm happy with the way it looks, like the width that I feel like I can see there. The waist is still nice and tight, and we are losing weight as well, and I'm feeling just as strong. I'm still hitting the numbers that I've been hitting, which I'm really, really happy about. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see next. You can imagine quarantine videos are quite hard, right? Obviously I've got the cable machine, but not everyone can relate to the cable machine because they've not got a cable machine, so I've got to be ingenious with these things. So just let me know what you want to see next. But I appreciate you guys for stopping in. We'll see you soon. That noise is fucking annoying, isn't it? Peace, everybody.